first two games of their series with Louisville with balance. On Friday night, Davis Sharp was great on the mound again. Bo Mikowski flashing the leather in right field. And a big third inning, keyed by this three-run blast by Logan Davidson. His 8th home run of the season pushed the Tigers on their way to a 5-1 victory as they got in the spirit of the Hoops Final Four weekend. Then on Saturday, more defense, more pitching. Mikowski, the diving stab to rob a hit right there. And lefty Matt Clark continued his wonderful run so far this season as a starter. 7 1/3 innings of 4-hit baseball, allowing just 1 run as he improved to 7-0 on the year. Today, the Tigers go for the sweep against the Cards. It's the ACC on ESPN, and the Clemson Tigers trying for a third ACC sweep during the conference season. A top 20 battle against Louisville concludes this afternoon. Hi, everybody, and welcome in. Along with Matthew Crownover and Ron Smith, Pete Hannity with you. Tigers turn to freshman lefty Keyshawn Askew today to try to continue a good weekend of starting pitching.
Yes, they've set the table so far this weekend. Keyshawn's a very talented freshman. Talking to Coach C, he's got a great sinker ball. It's a double-play machine for the Tigers on Sundays.
Now, throughout the weekend, Clemson's been really resourceful at the plate, Ron. A lot of thunder on Friday night. Saturday, a case of really good situational hitting.
They've had a great approach the last 2 days, 2-strike, 2-out hits, and it was exemplified by Grayson Bird's 2-out hit in the 5th inning that drove in 2 runs for the Tigers.
Bird had homered in his previous at-bat, but with men in scoring position, he came through with that hard shot to right to extend a Clemson lead en route to that victory. Starting lineup for the Louisville Cardinals, we've seen Lucas Dunn in the first 2 games of the series, but he gets his first start in center field, and he's now in the leadoff hole. Jake Snyder follows. Tyler Fitzgerald goes from the top spot to 3 in the order. Logan Wyatt, the cleanup hitter. Britton, Davis, Benellis, Levy, and Ethan Stringer getting the start in right field, rounding out Dan McDonald's lineup as his team has dropped back-to-back games, and that has happened just one time before during this season. Grayson Bird, a second straight start in left field for Clemson. Teodosio and Mikowski in center and right for the Tigers defensively. Parker, Davidson, Hall, Hawkins across the infield. Wilkie behind the plate. And Askew on the mound, getting ready for another start and another weekend start. They moved him into the Sunday role about a month ago. 6 times this season he's gone to the Hill as the Tigers starter. And, you know, guys, a young player who's got a lot of upside, a lot of arms and legs in the delivery. And Ron, a player we've seen this year really look well beyond his years on the Hill with poise.
Well, he's got a live arm. I mean, when the ball comes out of his hand, he's got movement, and he does have a bit of an unusual delivery, Matt.
You know, low 3/4 arm slot.
Yep.
Got a lot of arms and legs coming at you, like you said, Pete. Everything moves, nothing's straight.
First pitch on this Sunday afternoon. A ball game moved up by an hour to help out Louisville with their travel. Moved up by an hour from the normal 1 p.m. starting time. And a first strike on the batter, Dunn, who in the ball game yesterday came on and in a reserve role late, ended up going 1 for 2. 0-2 pitch. Command was a reason why Askew lasted just 3 innings in his start last Sunday against Virginia Tech. He obviously got a no decision. He allowed 3 hits and 4 runs, 2 of them earned, struck out 2 and walked 2.
Look for a lot of fastballs today, Pete. You know, he hasn't really developed a put-away pitch with his changeup or his breaking ball yet. But talking to Coach C, you know, his sinker is just so good. Even though if he walks someone, they believe they can get a double play because he's down in the zone consistently.
Count even at 2-2. Dunn, we've told you throughout the series, might be their best true hitter, but he's been nursing a finger injury, and they've really tried to take it slowly, but he's gotten the clearance to the point where they feel like they can put him in the starting lineup again.
I really think he's a big addition to their lineup. He runs, he's got some pop, and he's a very impressive player. Quick bat, great speed in the outfield.
347 batting average. Well in the lead on their team in terms of that number. Flare into right. Mikowski a couple of steps in for out number 1.
Catchers want, you don't want to turn around. You can talk to them, and catchers really want to develop a good relationship.
Alex Benellis leading things off. Freshman third baseman. Diving try, and the catch is made by Grayson Bird in left field. His indoctrination to a new position continues in a top shelf play. by the third baseman, first baseman.
Yeah, he really looked very comfortable out there. Got a good jump and showed his athletic ability and diving catch.
Second time in this series and second time in as many days that Pinellas has been robbed by a Tigers outfielder.
Yeah.
Wow, how do you like that? Grayson Bird, the guy who had been on the hot corner and at first base, has never played the outfield at Clemson, got his first start in left yesterday, and now he'll in the dugout, he'll be asking the other outfielders they'd like to come over for some consultation.
Yeah.
You know, some insight.
3 freshmen in the Clemson lineup today.
Looper into right, it'll get down, and the Cardinals will take a 1-0 lead, just like on Friday night. They got a single run in inning number 2, and that's the case here on Sunday. The RBI for Dunn, his 7th of the season. Tigers
They're
bring
running
the infield
game. Yeah,
in.
they're going to bring him in. This,
In a 1-0 game in the third, and the infield is in, but it shows you the respect they have for Louisville pitching. Right field, Mikowski chasing it, leaping, and he makes the catch. Another great play in right field by Bo Mikowski. It'll go as a sacrifice RBI for Britton, but how about Bo Mikowski? He saw what Bird did last inning, and, well, he wanted to get himself on the highlight reel.
Well, he, again, just a great job of the route that he took, and I think he saved a home run. It was very, very close, and he's obviously more familiar with this field, but fearless going into that wall and really showing some nice hands and a lot of athletic ability.
How about Bo Mikowski? What a job he has done in right field. I mean, saving a bunch of runs. This one with a bat flip on the back end of it, hitting the foul pole. And a first pitch swing for Henry Davis. Out of the park it goes. Louisville leads 3-0 on the third homer of the season by the freshman catcher.
With the fact that the pitch wasn't called a strike anyway.
Yeah, I think the catcher was set up on the outside corner. He missed over, and the catcher had to reach. So, that's kind of begging there a little bit.
Yeah.
We all won on these pitchers, but
high and deep to right field. Got a chance. Out of here over the Cajun Cafe. And just like that, we have a new game. Second homer in the series for Davidson, his 9th of the year. And Weatherly did a nice job keeping the Tigers in that game.
Very impressive. Struck out the side one inning.
Runner going, swing and a miss for the strikeout. Throw down to second, the tag and the out. Another strike him out, throw him out, double play recorded by the Tigers this weekend. Kyle Wilkie, he'd seen some base runners have success earlier in the game, but that time he takes out the would-be base stealer, Ethan Stringer. Cardinals done here in the 4th. It's a 3-3 game at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Hot corner here early in his Clemson career.
Again, that's an example of Clemson recruiting athletes.
And line drive into left field. That's a base hit. Hawkins will be waved. Up with it is Snyder. His throw will be cut off. A 2-out RBI single by Parker. And the Tigers have their first lead of the afternoon.
I wonder if they have that contact play on over at third base with the base runner.
Right field, Mikowski. Let's see if it's deep enough. He's got a pretty good arm. Runner done tagging, coming to the plate. Here comes the throw, the tag, and he's safe. Alex Pinellas has had an interesting series, to say the least. And his first at bat in this ball game, he was robbed for a second straight day of a would-be base hit, maybe extra bases, this time by Bird in left. And he has since struck out twice and popped out to the shortstop, ripping that one high and deep to right. The freshman third baseman has put Louisville back in front. Pinellas, his 4th home run of the season to take over the Cardinals team lead.
Fastball, middle out over the plate. Was able to get his hands extended like we talked about, Coach, last night with a few swings. And big swing right there in the top of the 11th.
You know, it's interesting. Pinellas' dad played college basketball at Division II Wisconsin Stout, but they don't have the basketball hoop to celebrate like the Tigers have shown this week after home runs. That would have been appropriate, but certainly he got all of that one, not with the distance that Davidson hit his shot out to right earlier in the game, but it got out of the park just as quickly.
Yeah, but a mistake. You mentioned out over the middle of the plate, about belt high.
Drew Campbell's first plate appearance in the game came on as a defensive replacement for the right fielder Stringer, and this one driven high and deep to right. Mikowski back, reaching up, and that one's out of here. Might have hit the glove of the Tigers' right fielder, so 2 home runs in the inning, and Campbell hitting his first of the season. It's a 6-4 ball game. Parker at second, Hall, or I should say Parker at third, Hall at second. Called strike 3. Wow, that's how this game comes to an end. As Carrion gets Davidson looking to close it out for Louisville. They avoid the sweep, and they add to their strikeout total on the day. Take another look. I don't know if Davidson was thinking something else.
That's really backdoor slider, really good pitch. Davis was set up on the inside part. Heck of a baseball series between these two very fine programs. Really
13th strikeout in the ball game for Louisville pitching. Carrion coming on to the 9th inning in relief, going on and getting the victory, and he improves to 2-0 on the season. Carson Spires takes the loss and falls to 1-2. Tigers 11-4 now in the ACC, 24-8 overall. Louisville improves to 24-8 on the season, 10-5 in the league. Matthew, great having you on board this weekend. Really enjoyed your insight.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate the opportunity.
And Ron Smith, I'll be seeing you down the line soon. Tigers, though, they took 2 out of 3. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and they played very solid defense, had some really good at-bats. You're playing a really good program. Great series.
7-4 and 11 Louisville. For Matthew Crownover and Ron Smith, Pete Ganady saying so long.